You know that strange moment when you sit down to do something you used to care about and nothing happens? The screen is on, the notebook is open, the day is technically free, and yet your body doesn't move. Not because you're tired, not because you're lazy, but because something inside you refuses to cooperate. You tell yourself you just need discipline. You scroll for motivation. You promise that tomorrow you'll wake up different. But tomorrow comes and the same weight is still there. Here's the uncomfortable truth most people never say out loud. You didn't lose motivation. You lost meaning. And motivation never survives that. Think back to a time when effort felt natural. Not easy, but natural. A time when you could push through discomfort without negotiating with yourself every 5 minutes. You didn't need playlists or rituals or productivity hacks. You moved because something mattered, because the effort pointed somewhere real. Now compare that to how effort feels today. Heavy, artificial, forced. That's not a personal failure. That's a signal. Modern life has taught you to blame yourself for a problem that doesn't live inside you. It tells you that if you just optimized your habits, fixed your dopamine, or wanted it badly enough, you'd be fine. But that explanation collapses the moment you ask one simple question. Motivation for what? For a job you don't believe in? For goals you inherited but never chose? For a lifestyle that looks impressive but feels empty from the inside? Your brain is not broken. It's unconvinced. There's a type of person who struggles with this more than anyone else. Maybe it's you. They're disciplined, responsible, functional. They show up, they meet expectations, they do what needs to be done. From the outside, they look fine, even successful. But internally, everything feels muted, flat, like life is happening behind glass. They wake up already tired, not from lack of sleep, but from the quiet realization that the day ahead doesn't need them in any meaningful way. Their effort doesn't protect anyone. It doesn't build anything essential. It doesn't change the trajectory of their life in a way that feels alive. So motivation fades. Not dramatically, not all at once. It just stops volunteering. They try to fix it with routines, with discipline, with pushing harder, and sometimes that works for a while. But eventually the body rebels. Procrastination creeps in. Fatigue becomes chronic. Focus evaporates. And then the shame starts. What's wrong with me? Nothing. You're responding correctly to a life that stopped making sense to your nervous system. For most of human history, effort was tied to survival, belonging, and contribution. You hunted, built, protected, learned. Not because you were motivated, but because your actions mattered immediately. Your work fed someone. Your presence mattered to the group. Your absence was felt. Now, effort often leads to abstraction. Numbers, metrics, screens, deadlines that reset every week, achievements that look good but don't land anywhere inside you. Your brain evolved to care about necessity, not status, about impact, not appearance. So when you force yourself to care about things that feel unnecessary, motivation quietly walks away. Then there's another profile, the nostalgic one. This person doesn't feel motivated about the future, but they feel strangely alive when thinking about the past. They replay old versions of themselves, old dreams, old energy. They don't necessarily want to go back, but they miss how things felt. They'll say things like, "I don't know what happened to me," or "I used to be so driven." What they're really saying is, "I used to have a direction that made sense." Motivation didn't disappear, it relocated. It's still attached to a version of life that felt coherent. The problem isn't that you can't imagine the future, it's that the future you're offered doesn't feel worth the cost of becoming someone new. So your mind stalls. Because becoming something requires sacrifice, and your system won't sacrifice for something it doesn't respect. Then there's the person who stays busy, very busy, always doing something, always optimizing, always improving. They mistake motion for meaning, productivity for purpose. They fill their days so thoroughly that there's no room left to notice the emptiness underneath. But late at night, or in rare moments of stillness, the same question surfaces. Why doesn't any of this feel like it's enough? Because motion without meaning is just distraction with better branding. Busyness can suppress the feeling temporarily. It cannot resolve it. And eventually, motivation collapses under the weight of pointlessness. The most misunderstood type, though, is the quiet resistor. This person doesn't lack ambition, they lack consent. Something inside them refuses to fully participate in the life they're living. Not out of rebellion, out of honesty. Their body won't fake enthusiasm anymore. Their mind won't generate motivation on command. They're often labeled lazy or depressed or ungrateful. But what's really happening is this: their intelligence has detected a misalignment. They see the trade being offered: time, energy, attention, and they don't like the return, so they withdraw. Not consciously, biologically. This is important. Motivation is not a moral trait. It's a biological response. Your brain allocates energy towards things that feel meaningful, necessary, or identity-defining. When those elements disappear, motivation isn't lost, it's withheld. And here's where modern culture gets it wrong. It treats motivation as something you generate internally, regardless of context, as if you're supposed to summon drive in a vacuum, as if the content of your life doesn't matter. But motivation is a relationship between effort and meaning. When that relationship breaks, no amount of discipline can fully replace it. You can force yourself to act. You cannot force yourself to care. That's why motivation advice feels hollow to so many people. It addresses behavior while ignoring belief. It tells you to push without asking whether the direction makes sense. And deep down, you know it doesn't. This is the part few people are willing to confront. Sometimes the loss of motivation is not a problem to fix. It's information. It's the moment your system says, this no longer aligns with who you are becoming. That doesn't mean you quit everything. It means you stop lying to yourself about what you're doing and why. Meaning isn't found through constant introspection. It's found through commitment to something that feels bigger than comfort, but smaller than fantasy. Something that demands effort and gives coherence in return. Not happiness, not pleasure, coherence. The sense that your actions add up to something real. Without that, motivation becomes an endless negotiation, a daily argument with yourself, and eventually, exhaustion wins. So if you're feeling unmotivated right now, ask yourself a more honest question than, how do I fix this? Ask, what am I trying to motivate myself to do, and do I actually believe in it? Because if the answer is no, the problem isn't your discipline, it's your direction. And here's the hardest part. Finding meaning doesn't feel exciting at first. It feels heavy. It asks you to give something up, to disappoint someone, to step into uncertainty without guarantees. Motivation doesn't return as a surge. It returns as a quiet willingness to endure discomfort for a reason that feels true. That's how you know it's real. Not when you feel energized, when you feel grounded. You didn't lose motivation. It stopped working for a life that doesn't feel necessary. The moment you start building something that does, even slowly, it will come back. Not because you forced it, but because you finally gave it a reason. So sit with that. What are you asking yourself to care about? And is it worth becoming someone new for? Because motivation follows meaning. It always has, and it always will. If this landed uncomfortably, that's not a bad sign. It means something inside you is paying attention. Stay with that feeling. Don't rush to silence it. We'll keep exploring these fractures, the quiet ones, the hidden ones, and what they reveal about the modern mind. If you're ready to keep going, you know where to find us. And if you're honest with yourself, you already know what needs to change. Not your motivation, your meaning.